Will one of the convicted killers in one of Lexington's most notorious murder cases be freed from prison? We have the decision from the state parole board coming up.
Rain has moved through once today, and our next wave is starting to show up out to our west, and it's coming as well. This is one of many that we face this week. I'll track all of them coming up for you.
This is WKYT News at Noon.
And good afternoon to you from WKYT News. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith in for Barbara Bailey, who has the day off. Well, it was one of the most notorious murders in state history.
Karen Brown was convicted of killing Michael Turpin back in 1986 in Lexington. And last week, Brown went before two members of the parole board to ask for early release. This morning, the full board decided her fate. WKYT's Mark Barber is in Frankfort now with that decision, and it is our top story at noon. Mark?
The parole board meeting here at their state office in Frankfort stretched on for hours. Ultimately, the board made the same decision that they made during Karen Brown's last parole hearing, and that was to keep her in prison another 5 years. In 2020, the convicted killer will be up for parole again, and once again, she can ask to be released from prison. This is the second time that Brown has been up for parole. The board also denied her request back in 2011. She's serving a life sentence because she held down Michael Turpin, her girlfriend's husband, while he was stabbed to death in 1986. Police say the women hope to get $60,000 in life insurance. Last week, Brown told the parole board that she's sorry for what she did, that she's sorry she didn't lay down her life for Turpin, and that she is now a changed woman. Turpin's family also spoke to the parole board during a separate hearing. They are still very emotional about his death, and many times their words crumbled into tears. Sobbing, Turpin's younger brother begged the board not to free Brown. His father said Brown was sentenced to life in prison, so that's where she needs to spend the rest of her life. Turpin's family made it clear that they will continue fighting to keep Brown locked up, and today the state parole board gave them the words they desperately wanted to hear. In Frankfort, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you very much. Now, two others are also convicted killers in the murder-for-hire plot. Turpin's wife, Elizabeth, and Keith Bouchard, the man who admitted to actually stabbing Turpin. A third person charged in a Lexington murder case will be making his first court appearance in about an hour. DeMarcus Harris was arrested in Columbus, Ohio. Police say he shot Darnell Bates last year during a home invasion on Addy Street. Charles Patton III and Caitlin Conway are also charged with murder in the case.
A vigil will be held tonight to honor the victims of a deadly DUI crash in southern Kentucky. Charlene Lewis, Judy Pennington Adams, and her pregnant granddaughter Tiffany Williams were killed Friday night on the Hal Rogers Parkway in Clay County. Williams' 2-year-old son Kyson later died at UK Hospital. WKYT's Phil Pendleton shows us how the community is coming together to support the family.
Well, Hayden is a small town, only about 300 or so people, but I'm told that it has a huge heart, and that is being seen today. As I pulled into town, firefighters were seen collecting donations. Nearly every driver that stopped put a few dollars in the buckets. The town is wrapping its arms around the victims. 59-year-old Charlene Lewis, her friend, 63-year-old Judy Pennington Adams, Adams' granddaughter, 23-year-old Tiffany Williams, and Williams' son Kyson, who would have turned 2 on Christmas Eve, were all killed Friday. I'm told that the family was returning from a doctor's appointment in Lexington because Williams was pregnant with a boy they were going to name Easton. She was due any time. All were killed when police say a truck driven by Jason Gibson crossed the center line and slammed into the car they were in on the Hal Rogers Parkway in Clay County. Police say they do suspect alcohol or drugs were factors. In Clay County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Well, the candlelight vigil will take place tonight at 5 o'clock at the Wolf & Sons Funeral Home in Hayden.
Well, rain is back in the forecast to start out the work week. We've had a few sprinkles today, and it looks like this is going to be the pattern right into Christmas Day. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell is live now in our First Alert Weather Center with a look ahead. Jim?
That and some warmer temperatures could be coming our way too, Bill. We'll likely run in the 50s and 60s throughout the rest of the week. Looking outside right now, the rain is back in town. You can kind of see how it's giving a bit of a haze there on our sky cam. We're still getting a lot of bounce due to the fact that the winds are gusting up there anywhere close to 30-35 miles per hour. Just an action-packed pattern coming at us. Here's what we've got radar-wise. There you see the second batch of rain now working its way into central sections of Kentucky. A heavier little shower showing up on the northwest side of town, and that's going to continue to work its way eastward, along with more rain down the line. Some coming into Danville, back toward Lebanon. You go into Springfield, all getting in on some of the wet action yet again. And for the folks out in eastern Kentucky, this whole batch is coming your way soon. It's light, generally light in nature. It's just one of many. We will track all of them coming up for you in just a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit, and we thank you very much. In South Carolina, Senator Lindsey Graham dropped out of the presidential race today, but Kentucky Senator Rand Paul says he is still in it to win it in his bid for the White House. Paul appeared on CNN's State of the Union talking about the chance to lash out at leaders in the Republican presidential field. Paul says it is, quote, deeply disturbing that Donald Trump is the front runner, and he thinks that media coverage has a lot to do with Trump's momentum.
I think we have sort of American Idol type of polls right now where one candidate is getting an enormous amount of time on TV, and people are saying, oh, yeah, I might vote for him. Well, these people don't get out and vote.
Kentucky's senior senator, Mitch McConnell, has not said who he is supporting in the Republican presidential race, but he is raising a concern about a controversial proposal made by Donald Trump. McConnell says that Trump's plan to ban Muslims from entering the United States would go nowhere in the U.S. Senate.
A community is hoping people will make a special donation in honor of a Kentucky Marine. Friends of Tyler Brewer are holding a blood drive in his memory today from 2:30 until 6 at the Blessings Floral Design on West College Avenue in Stanton. Brewer died in a crash on Black Creek Road in Powell County in January this year. Anyone who donates blood in the Marine's honor will get a gift card and a discount at the floral shop. The Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife hoping you will hand over your Christmas tree once it's done, once we get past the holiday, to them. Instead of trashing them, they're collecting the trees through January. They will be used to make fish habitats in various lakes across the Commonwealth. They must be natural and, of course, pick off all those ornaments and the lights before you drop them off. There are nearly 30 drop-off sites through the end of January. You can find the list on WKYT.com.
All right, a way you can help out.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I didn't even know they could do that with those Christmas trees. Well, this year's winner of The Voice, of course, Harlan County native Jordan Smith, will be honored today in his hometown.
He's been all the talk in recent weeks, and a parade will be held this afternoon to recognize Smith's big accomplishments. His powerful performances led to him winning the hit singing competition and several #1 hits on iTunes as well. And now Smith is looking ahead to the future. He told People magazine that his next dream is to sing the national anthem someday at the Super Bowl. Today's parade in Harlan starts at 2:30. We'll be there, of course. We'll stream it live on WKYT.com, and we'll have much more from Harlan County coming up on our news this afternoon at 12:30, as well as, of course, at 4 o'clock this afternoon, reports when things are actually underway. Well, a woman is facing charges following a car crash on the Las Vegas Strip that killed one person and critically injured many others. We'll have the latest on the investigation next on Kentucky's #1 Midday News.
Also, it's one of the worst mix-up in the history of live television, maybe the worst. I don't know. We'll show you the drama that unfolded at the Miss Universe pageant on WKYT News at noon.